What's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. I wish I could say I have good news for you. It's pretty much just all bad news with just a sprinkling of good news. So we'll start off with the good news first and then I'll talk about the bad news and some of my recommendations for what to do right now as a collector. Right now, the general good news is that we are going to get more restocks and reprints. I know people said that before, but we are going to get a large wave of restocks and reprints over the next 6 to 18 months. The only other decent piece of good news that I have is that if you're a seller, if you're someone that's willing to part anything from your collection, now be the time to sell it, because it is an absolute seller's market right now, which means if you have anything that is Pokemon card related or Pokemon related even, and you are willing to offload it, whatever you have is worth way more right now than it did or was 6 to 12 months ago. So if you have any card or any collectible that you want to sell, my recommendation is if it's worth way more now than it was 6 to 12 months ago, now may be the time to sell it. That's the only thing I can recommend. And the reason I'm saying that is because prices are going to remain high for at least the foreseeable future. I don't really see prices on sealed products dipping significantly anytime soon. A major reason for that is that a lot of card shops are reporting that they are getting restock numbers from their distributors. And unfortunately, the restock numbers from a lot of distributors are very high. They are not below retail price. They are going at close to market price. What I'm hearing is that Prismatic Evolution's Elite Trainer boxes, if you want restocks of them, they are pricing them for between $90 to $110, which is kind of excessive. If you're someone who owns a card shop and you're buying Prismatic Evolution's Elite Trainer boxes at $90, you're going to have to price them at $120 to even have any margins on these products. And that's really challenging because it's going to keep the prices high. Why would distributors do that? Why are distributors acting like scalpers? Is basically they can do what they want to maximize their profit. After they meet their obligations of the initial wave of stocks, they can price additional restocks at whatever the market is. They have whole entire sales teams of people who will call up stores and rip and shippers and whoever else who sells Pokemon cards and says, hey, we have a bunch of Prismatic Evolution's Elite Trainer boxes. What are you willing to pay for them? And there is going to be a store that says, hey, I'm willing to pay 80 bucks, and someone else is going to say, oh, I'm willing to pay 85, and someone else raises their hand and says, I'm willing to pay 90. Whoever is willing to pay the most, that's who the distributor is going to sell a lot of their products to, and then they work their way down that line until they meet as many people as they can. If you're someone that says, oh, I'm willing to buy them at 60, and there's a bunch of other people saying they're willing to buy ETBs at 70, 80, 90, $100, then you're going to be last on the distributor's list of who they're going to ship products to. That's just the unfortunate reality of it right now. So prices are going to remain high. I think for something like Temporal Forces booster boxes, which is going to be expected to getting restock. Stellar Crown is another one that I would expect to get a restock pretty soon. A lot of distributors are probably going to price these booster boxes at upwards of $125 to even like $140. For something like Surging Sparks, I can see distributors pricing them for as high as like $160 to maybe even like $200, which is absolute insanity. But if a distributor is saying, hey, we're going to sell booster boxes at $200 for Surging Sparks, the prices on booster boxes of Surging Sparks are not going to drop anytime soon. They will probably drop in the future as more and more stores get their full inventory and the prices on these bids go down and down and down, but it's going to be a slow drop. You're not going to see a massive dramatic drop where all of these booster boxes go back down to $100 again. It's going to be a slow climb down. That's why I expect for the next 6 to 18 months, things are going to be quite expensive. And this is very normal in the hobby. This is something I've noticed as someone that's been collecting for around over 10 years. Is that the hobby absolutely goes in kind of an ebb and flow where it's a buyer's market for 2 years and then it's a seller's market for 2 years and then it's a buyer's market for 2 years and then it's a seller's market for 2 years. I've definitely seen a little bit of that. There's definitely different triggering points for what causes prices to be so high, whether it be a massive explosion of popularity to a new game or an external event like the pandemic. Whatever the reason is, the hobby definitely does seem to be very cyclical, where there is a cycle in times to buy and time to sell. And right now it is a time to sell. What that means is that if you have any products or any cards inside of your collection, right now may be a time to sell it. If you're willing to offload some of your collections, there are a ton of people right now that are willing to buy it at significant markup prices. That's not me saying that, that's the market saying that. And these are periods of buying and selling. Right now, it seems like a period that you want to hold everything because everything is going up in price and everything seems so precious. But when things are now a buyer's market, that's when everyone's selling because everything seems to be going down in price, and you don't want to fall for that psychology. If you have any card inside of your collection and it went up 1,000% in the past 6 to 12 months, my recommendation is, unless you really want that card inside of your collection, now may be the time to sell it because it is a seller's market. If you have any sealed products, if you have any Pokemon cards that you're saying, yeah, I'm okay with parting with this card, it's time to sell it. In the next 6 to 12 months, I think prices are going to remain high. And if that's not you, then unfortunately, if you're someone that's just a buyer, then right now it's a real struggle. So my recommendation, if you're just a pure buyer, is to focus on items that are still affordable. And there's two places that are still very, very affordable right now in the hobby. The first place is any product on the Pokemon Center website. I've been pointing out a ton of products that I think are really, really good deals on the Pokemon Center for the past couple of months. And a lot of the items that I've recommended are now sold out. Things like Fusion Strike product, Brilliant Stars products, Temporal Forces products, or Silver Tempest, I've been recommending those for months and those are now starting to sell out. I recommended Shrouded Fable recently and that also sold out. But pretty much anything that's on the Pokemon Center will always be at retail price. So if you're buying something from the Pokemon Center, you know for sure you are not paying scalper prices. You are always paying retail price, and that's all you want. There are still products that are below retail price, and I can name some of them. The most obvious one is going to be the Super Premium Collection. The Charizard Super Premium Collection is still way below retail price because they absolutely overpriced it. So if you want that product, I think I can find Super Premium Collection going for as low as $50. If you don't have one inside of your collection, there you go. That's at least something that is below retail price. There's still a couple of other products. I think you might still be able to find some Shrouded Fable ETBs going for as low as $40, but it's definitely going to be more rare to find anything. I was able to pick up some Paradox Rift and Scarlet and Violet base booster boxes from a recent card show I went to, and I was able to pick those up for right around $125 to $140. So still below retail price on those, which is very nice. I'm very happy about that. But in general, you're going to have to really search for them. If you don't want to pick up stuff from the Pokemon Center online, the other place is singles. There are still a bunch of really affordable singles out there, especially in the vintage Pokemon card market. I recently went to a card show and I was able to pick up a base set Bulbasaur, base set Squirtle, and a base set Charmander from the original 1999 base set for really exceptional prices. I think they were going for between $1 to $3. I know for sure the Bulbasaur I picked up for $1, and I think the Squirtle and Charmander I picked up for $3 and $4 each. So that's a little bit of a decent markup from where they used to be, but those are really awesome cards. I was able to pick up some nice starter Pokemon that are over 25 years old at a really exceptional price. So I was very happy adding that to my $100 collection challenge for this month. So you'll definitely see those in that upcoming video. But there are still places that are pockets of affordable prices, and that's going to be pretty much anything that is a little bit more vintage. If you start looking at cards that are 5 years or older, prices haven't really moved on a lot of those cards. Some of them have definitely moved, but a lot of the older stuff people are simply overlooking right now. So right now I'd say the best time to pick up anything, if you can't find cheap steel products, is singles. And I think the singles market is still full of potential. Definitely don't pick up anything that's gone up by 1,000% in the past 6 months. And that's what I recommend people sell. If you have any Pokemon card inside of your collection that has gone up 1,000% in the last 6 months, that might be a good signal to sell it. I'm not going to say that it can't go up 2,000%, but anything that's gone up 1,000% in 6 months is giving off a strong sell now kind of signal. So that's completely up to you if you want to do that. It is a seller's market, but keep on hoping. I think that it's going to be a long time before things start to really slow down. So this whole entire video is really to curb your expectation. If you're expecting prices to absolutely crash on steel products, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.